you are studying. So is the chapter has not been completed till yet? This chapter, surgical methods, we are on the surgical methods.
Sir, we covered that topic already in last class.
Surgical methods also. So have you
Yes.
noted that one? Have you noted?
Yes, sir, we noted.
So surgical method. After surgical methods, we're going to have population control. And in population control, we have studied surgical methods. Okay, the next one is sexually transmitted disease. Okay, these are the diseases that are actually transferred. Okay, we can say that these are transferred from one generation to sorry, one person to another person during the sexual contact. Okay, so please note it down that gonorrhea is a disease, sexually transmitted disease that is done or that is uh, means the person get infected by this disease due to sexual contact. Yes. Have you noted this one? Gonorrhea, syphilis, arthritis.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you have you noted? Yes. So I think we need to start the new chapter, na? Heredity and evolution. Heredity only, na? Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So let's start the new chapter, that is heredity and evolution. Wait a minute. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. Let me find out the slides for this one so that it can be easy. Next chapter is heredity and evolution. Actually, if I talk about that, what is heredity? So heredity means the transmissions of characters from parents to means this heredity means simply the transmission of characters from parents to offspring. Okay. So heredity and evolution, we are just going to study in this chapter. Okay. Heredity. Evolution is not in the syllabus, so we're not going to discuss here. So what is heredity actually? The transmissions of characters from parents to offspring is called heredity. Okay. Means those characters that you are getting it from your parents, we called it heredity. Okay. So heredity means simply the transmissions of characters from parents to offspring. We called it heredity. Okay. So heredity, note it down, heredity. The transmissions of characters, the transmissions, mission, the transmission of characters from parents to offspring, offspring, offspring is called heredity. Got it? Noted? Noted fast. Who is adding again and again and leaving the class?
Noted, sir.
Okay. So after the heredity, you know that what is, first of all, if I ask you that what is variations? What is variation? So we will say that variation is the slow and gradual change among the individuals that make that we observe among different individuals among the same species. Okay, for example, if you are having a person that is going to have a wrinkled hairs, okay, then other are going to have the same hair. Okay, I mean straight hairs. One is going to have their earlobes attached with the cheek. Okay, other one is not going to have the detached. Okay, so we are saying that what is variation? Variation is we can say that slow and gradual change among the individuals of the same species. We called it variations. Okay, got it? So what is variation? The slow and gradual change among the individuals, slow and gradual change among the individual of same species that make an organism individually different from other. For example, if I talked about that, for example, color of skin, different colors of skin, different color of skin, comma, different color of skin, okay, eyes, etc. Okay, got it? Now the variations are of two types. One is the somatic variation, other one is the germinal variations. Okay, have you noted this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Other students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now moving to the next part here is that if I talked about that, there the variations are of two types. What are variation? Variations are of two types. One is the somatic variation. Another one is germinal variations. First of all, before going to this one, before going to this somatic and germinal variation, okay, we shall study that there are two types of cells. One is the somatic cells, another one is the germinal cells. Okay, somatic cells are those cells in which we say that somatic cells are those cells in which the organism which we are talking about, okay, if there is if we say that those cells that do not participate in the reproductions, okay, we called it somatic cells. Let me explain you what are somatic cells. Like in RBC, muscle cell, cardiac cells, that these cells do not participate in the process of reproductions. Okay, so what are somatic cells? Somatic cells means those cells that do not participate in the reactions, okay, or in the process of reproduction, sorry. So those cells that do not participate in the process of reproduction, like the cardiac cells, like the muscle cells, like the brain cells, like the neurons, like the nerve cells, they don't participate in the reproduction. So we will say that these cells are somatic cells. And what are germinal cells? Germinal cells are the gametes, like sperm and ovum, that participate in the reproduction. So if I'm talking about the somatic variations, okay, those variations that an organism is going to have due to its and due to in their somatic cells. Okay, for example, a person start doing a weightlifting, okay, and he got some type of muscles in his body. So that is those change or those variation that he's going to have in his body is considered to be as somatic variations. Okay, like a person who is living in the mountain regions. Okay, at the higher altitude, we will say that at the higher altitudes, due to higher altitudes, the oxygen's is level is not so high. As a result of which, we will say that. As a result of which, their lungs, those who person who are living in the mountain region, their lung size increases. Okay, in order to fulfill the requirement of the oxygen to the body, their lungs expands. Okay, the size of the lungs expands. This is one of the most important thing here is that the size of the lungs increase just after the birth, as there is a lack of oxygen. Okay, the next generation is not going to have the same means bigger lung size. Okay, so we will say that this type of variation is called somatic variations, that is done or due to somatics, change in the somatic cells, like in the lungs. Okay, like in the muscles. And if there is a change due to DNA copying. Okay, let's talking about that. DNA copying, when two for example, this is a male gamete, this is a female gamete, and they are going to fuse together and they are going to form a zygote. So 50% characteristics is coming from the male, 50% characteristics coming from the female. So this type of variations will occurs in an organism, and we will say that this type of variation is considered to be as germinal variation, because these are due to change in the germ cells. Okay, due to DNA copying. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So yes, Tejasvi, tell me that what is somatic variation? Tejasvi, are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what is somatic variation. I was just telling you. Please turn on your camera. Everybody in the class, please turn on your camera. Turn on your camera. Shweb, Tejasvi, Abir, turn on your camera. And tell me, Tejasvi, that what is somatic variations? What is somatic variations?
Which occurs in the somatic cells.
Yes, somatic cells are those cells that do they participate in the bonding, sorry, in the reproduction?
Yes, sir.
Somatic cells participate in the reproduction.
No, they participate in the reproduction, sir.
They don't participate in the process of reproduction. They don't participate. Why? Why? Because they are non-reproductive cells. Only the gamete cell participate in the process of reproduction. Got it? So note down somatic variation. Somatic variations. The difference among the individuals due to change. The difference among the individual due to change in somatic cell. Somatic cell, non-reproductive cell. Active cell. Okay, note the next one. What is germinal variation? The difference among the individual due to reproduction. Due to reproduction. Okay, due to reproduction. And why? Because whenever reproduction is taking place, there is always DNA copying take place, and no DNA is 100% accurately copied. So there is a change in DNA, and if there is a change in DNA, then the variation occurs. This type of variation is called germinal variation. DNA copying is called germinal variation. Is called variation. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I talked about, noted this one, Saima, Shweb, I told you again and again, please turn on your camera. Everybody in the class, turn on your camera. Noted. So what we have studied till yet. So what is heredity? The transmissions of characters from parents to offspring. The transmissions of character from parents to offspring is called heredity. Okay, we called it heredity. Heredity is the okay. And what is variation? Variation is slow and gradual change among the individuals. Okay, when there is an individual and it means slowly their generations are going to have some changes, minor changes. Okay, so slow and gradual changes among the individuals of same species. We're not talking about human beings and the chimpanzees. No, all human beings, if we're talking about human beings, is human beings. Okay, so if I'm talking about that slow and gradual change among the individuals of same species means they should be of same, means if I'm talking about human beings, so should be human beings. So slowly, if the changes are being occurred in the human beings, and that make the organism individually different from each other. Okay. For example, this is me, and because of variation between me and my parents, because of both the DNA is being involved, so I'm going to have an individual identity. No other person is going to have the same appearance like me. So this is making variation is helping us to for a person to make them individually different. Okay. Okay, got it? You understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next one is, now variation is of two types: somatic variation, germinal variations. If the variations occurs in the somatic cells, then it is considered to be as somatic variation. And if the if the variations occurs in the due to DNA copying, we considered it as germinal variations. Okay, got it? Got it? Now, what are the importance of variations? What are the importance of variations? Importance of variations. So if I talk about the importance of variations, so what are the importance of variations? Tell me.
Variation helps to stabilize the population of a species if there is change in the niche.
Yeah, you can say that. That, for example, if I'm going to give you for every trait, there is a separate gene. If I'm talking about that, this one, that for every trait, okay, there is a separate gene. For example, if I'm saying that uh, when a variation is being occurred, okay, it provides survival advantage. For example, there is a group of red beetles, okay, these are the red beetles. And when they are reproducing, some of the beetles from red, okay, they are reproducing to red, but one of them or two of them get converted into green color. Okay, these are red beetles, but some of them gives green color, another are red. Okay, now again this green will give so many red, but two of them are green. Okay, so this is green, this is green. Again, this will gives you another green, but one red. Okay, one red color. So due to change or variations in among the individual, or we can say that due to variation, the DNA that is responsible for red color, due to some change in the DNA copying, it result in the formation of giving green color. And this green color, this change in DNA result in change in color. And due to change in color, this green color will gives the survival advantage. This green color will give survival advantage to whom? Okay, tell me. To survival advantage to the
In the
organism.
population of the species.
Yeah, you can say to the organism. And how it is providing? Just it is because green color can help the beetle to hide himself from predators. It has a going it is going to have the camouflage advantage. It can hide in the green trees. Okay, due to green color, it will not be appear to the crow, so that it can eaten by the crow. So it is just preventing the organism for the green. If variation does not occurs, okay, if the variation if due to DNA copying there is no variation occurs, then there will be always and always forever all the beetles will be red in color, and there will be no survival advantage. Okay, no importance will be given. So they will be always of same. So slowly, there is a change is being occurred. So green beetles are going to get the advantage, okay, of means they are getting a camouflage advantage, which is helping them to survive. So what are the importance of variation? First importance is this one. Second importance is this one, that due to variation, every organism is considered to be as means they are going to have its own identity. Okay, means no two organism are going to have the same exact appearance, because every time DNA is being copied, there will be some change in the organism. No two organism can be of same body design, same structure, same height, same color, same everything. There will be always change. So individuality is means every person has its own individuality. Okay, got it. So first importance of variations, if I talk about that, what is importance of variation? Importance of variations. So what is the importance of variations? Tell me. What is the importance of variations? So first importance is that variation gives each organism an individuality of its own. Variation help in improving the races of useful animals and plants. Okay, so if there is some for example, there are green and red beetles. Okay, so green color is providing a special advantage to the uh, to the uh, to the beetles. So due to that green color, they are given a special advantage of survival. Okay, got it. So variation
Yes,
gives
sir.
each organism an individuality of its own. Means every individual has its own separate identity. Okay, if there is no variation, then all the organism will be of same appearance, and it is very difficult to differentiate. Okay, next is without variation, there will be no sign no sign there will be no sign of heredity. Okay, there will be no sign of heredity. What is heredity? Heredity means transmissions of character from parents to offspring. So if all the organisms are same, so how can we say that which is being what is being transferred from your parents and what is not being transferred? So for example, all the person are going to have wrinkled hairs, or every person are going to have wrinkled hair. So how can we say that this you get from your parents? They are going to have the same. There will be no sign of heredity. But if a person is going to have wrinkled hair, so we can say that you have got this wrinkled hair from your mother. You have got this skin color from your father. You have got this height from your father. You have got this eyes from your mother. So we will say that if we are going to have the same, all the thing is same, then there will be no sign of heredity. But if we are just going to have difference among the individual, some is going to have wrinkled, some is going to have plain hairs, sorry, straight hair, some is going to have fair color, some is going to have. Okay, so if we are talking about this one, that different person have different appearance according or we can say that the traits are which are being inherited from their parents. Okay, for example, if again if one person is going to have wrinkled, another is going to have straight hair, so we can say that this straight hairs you have okay uh, recognized or get from your parents. Okay, so if there is no variation, there will be no sign of heredity. And if there is variation, if there are a different organism, different we can say that in human beings also, if their appearances are different, so we can say that due to means this is the these variations give the sign of heredity. Okay, that what thing that you have got from your parents, what thing you have not got from your parents. Okay, got it. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Understood? So without variation, there will be no sign of heredity. Okay. So if there is no variation, there will be no heredity, no transmission of character. We cannot differentiate it. Okay. Moreover, we can say that variation gives survival advantage. Third point is variation gives survival advantage. Okay. So please note it down in your copy. Variation gives survival advantage. Done?
Noted, sir.
Other students? Done?
Done.
Done, sir.
Okay. The next is what is genetics? What is genetics? What is genetics? So we can say that genetic is the branch of science. Where is Shweta? Shweta is in the class. Yes, she is. So if I talk to that, what is genetics? So genetic is a branch of science that deals with the study of heredity and variations. Okay. So what is genetics? So we can say that it is the branch of branch of science that deals with the study of heredity and variation. Means though that branch of science that deals with the study of heredity and variation is called genetics. Okay, we called it genetics. And if I told you that what is who coined the term genetics, so we'll simply say that William Batson. William Batson coined the term genetics. Okay, William Batson coined the term genetics. Got it? So wait a minute. I will done. Noted. Noted. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Done.
Okay. Now, if I'm talking about that, now you have studied that what is variations, what are the type of variations, okay, and how does variations benefits us, okay. The next one is if I talked about that, and in which type of reproduction the variation is maximum. In which type of reproduction the variation is maximum?
Sexual reproduction.
Sexual reproductions. Why? Why in sexual reproduction the variation is maximum? Because in sexual reproduction, we will simply say that in sexual mode of reproduction, the two parents, yes, two individuals' parents' DNA is being involved. That's why we'll say that here, since the two parents' DNA is being involved, therefore, the variation is more in sexual reproduction and in asexual method of reproduction, since the single parent DNA is involved. So we'll say that the less variation is in asexual method of reproduction. Okay. So in sexual method of reproduction, reproduction variation is more due to involvement of two parents DNA. Parents DNA. Okay. And vice versa. Why in accessory method? Because there is single parent in when DNA is being involved. Okay. Got it? Next, if I talked about next one is what is mutation? What is mutation? Mutation. You know that there is when mutation means if the DNA, if the DNA is being changed due to DNA copying, okay, because no biochemical process is 100% accurate and reliable. So if I talk about that, if there is means if I say that only we can say that if the DNA is being changed or there is a change in DNA is being occurred due to variations among the or due to DNA copying, okay, because two parents DNA is being involved, or so, or we can say that in asexual method of reproduction also, since the DNA is being copied by biochemical process and no biochemical process is 100% accurate and reliable. So we'll say that in the variations which is being occurred, or variations are being occurred due to change in DNA, and that change in DNA occurs due to DNA copying. Got it? Got it? Now, if I'm talking about that, if the DNA is being changed due to some external factors, some artificial factors or some natural methods, for example, due to UV rays, the DNA is being changed, okay, or if the DNA is being changed due to some eating some bad things, okay, then due to that, or some smoking factors, okay, the lungs is being continuously using different types of gases that is not suitable for you, so the DNA may be changed due to continuous, so there will be lung cancer, okay, due to eating tobacco. So these tobacco, okay, can change the DNA of when you are continuously using it. So it can change the DNA and may result in mutations. So mutation is something that results in change in DNA due to some artificial or some natural methods. Okay, got it? Like due to some radiations, the DNA may also change. Okay, for example, if a nuclear bomb is being dropped somewhere, so it may result in change in. Okay, got it? You understood?
Yes, sir.
Understood. So what is mutation? What is mutation? Tell me. We can say that mutation means genetic variations in organism. Note it down. Genetic variations. Genetic variation. Variation in organism. Organism also occurs. Also occurs due to. Also occurs due to natural or artificial due to natural or artificial change in the molecular structure of their DNA. It is called mutation. It is called mutations. Okay. So variation is actually the slow and gradual change, but mutation is we can say that mutation is what is mutation? Mutation is sudden change. Okay. So it is a sudden change in the DNA. It is sudden change in DNA. Sudden change in DNA. Okay, due to some, we call it mutations. Okay, but what is variation? Variation is slow and gradual change. It is not spontaneous that it is going to take in 1 month or 2 months. No, variation takes many years. Okay, okay, got it. So variation is slow and gradual change. It is not the fast change. Okay, for example, if a person has resistance to some kind of bacteria, so it will take time. Okay, there is not a sudden change. Okay, when okay, but here we talk about the mutation. Mutation is, we can say that it is sudden change. It is a fast process. Okay, due to some external factors, the DNA may change due to some radiation, due to some other factors. So we call it mutation. You understood what is mutation? Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Next one is if I talked about that variations are slow and gradual. What mutation is? Sudden change. Okay, variation gives survival advantage, but mutations does not give survival advantage. Balki it means it vanishes the growth, or we can say that it inhibits the means it is just creating means problems to the normal organism to live in the orbit according to the environment. Okay, got it. So sudden change, if a person get infected due to some is cancer, so some so this is mutation is cancer is also a type of mutation. Okay, so if it is affected by that one, so that will kills. Okay, got it. Next is traits. What are traits? So traits are of two types. Traits are of two types. One is acquired traits, acquired traits, and another one is acquired trait, and another one is the trait that is being transmitted from one person to another person, that is called inherited trait.
Inherited traits.
Inherited, herited, inherited traits. Okay, so what is acquired trait? The traits that is being acquired during the lifetime of an individual. For example, a person got an accident, okay, and he lose one of his hand or some body part. Okay, so it does not mean that this is the trait that he acquired in his lifetime. Okay, a person do weightlifting and he got the muscles. Okay, better muscles, so it does not mean that this trait is being transferred from one generation to another. So his kids means he was a very means skinny person, but when he got go to the gym and he start building muscles, so he got a very good body. But now can you say that will this be perfect, and if, now his kid is going to have means when he is going to get the kids, then at that times the kids will be always going to have a good muscles? No, because these are the change in the, these are acquired traits, and we will say that these traits are not transferable because he generated, the changes are being done in the muscle cells, not in the reproductive cells. The reproductive cells don't have the information that the person's muscles are gained. Okay, the germ cells are not going to affect by this weightlifting. Okay, the muscle cells are built up, they are built up during the lifetime, but building of muscle cells does not change, does not code anything in the reproductive cells. So reproductive cells remain as it is. Reproductive cells will remain as it is. Got it? Got it. So since they're in reproductions, the reproductive cells participate, not the somatic cells, muscle cells. So we will say that acquired traits are not transferable from one generation to another generations. Okay. Got it. For example, a person learns a language. And if he learns a language, so that is being there is being coded, or there is some change is being occurring in his brain cells so that he can memorize that thing. But that change is occurring in the brain cells, not in his germinal cells or gametes. So when he's going to reproduce that information, what he get in his lifetime, he learn languages, he learn something, he's a medical doctor, he learn how to operate. Okay, but that does not mean that a person is, who is a doctor, he is going to have its kids as a doctor. No. Why? Because these what he is getting as an acquired, because means a change is being done in his brain cells, in his muscle cells, not in the gamete cells. So if the change is not occurring in the gamete cells, and these are occurring in the somatic cells, and since somatic cells do not participate in the process of reproduction, so we will simply say that these acquired traits are not transferable from one generation to another generations. However, what are inherited traits? Those traits that are inherited. Inherit means that you get from your parents. For example, the height. If a father is tall, the kids is also going to have the means he is also going to have good height. So we'll say that is being inherited from his parents. Okay, got it?
Yes.
So these are called inherited. Those, the color of the skin, okay, the color of the eye, the ear lobes, we can say the body design. So we'll say that these are called the inherited traits. Got it? So note it down. What is acquired traits? Acquired traits. So we'll say the trait weight gained by lifting. Okay. Next is loss of a body organ in an accident. Accident, or we can simply say that lost weight gain by lifting. Okay, loss of body organ in an accident, or experience gained in lifetime, experienced in lifetime. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Next is inherited traits.
Sir, can you show the previous slide for me?
Yes.
Done, sir.
Next is inherited traits. Inherited traits. Okay, we will say that the traits that are gained, or we can say that those traits that a person is going to acquire from his parents, okay, from their parents, or they are present since childbirth. So we called it inherited traits. Okay, the traits that a person and we'll say that inherited traits are only studied because heredity means Heredity means transmissions of character from parents to offspring. Since the acquired traits are not transferred or not transferable from one generation to another generation, so we don't study them in the heredity. So we only study heredity. In heredity, we only study about the inherited traits. Okay, so note it down. Note only inherited traits are transferred from one generation to another and are studied in and are studied in heredity. Note it down. Got it? Noted? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute, sir.
Note it fast.
Done, sir.
Noted, sir.
Is there anyone still writing? Anyone? Should I move forward?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Is Jobita is there in the class? Jobita is absent today. Okay, next. If I talked about next one is that is we have discussed about the uh, variation. We have studied about the somatic variation. What is germinal variation? We have studied. Which type of variation is transferable from one generation to another generation? We have studied. What is mutation? We have studied. Inherited traits, acquired traits, we have studied. Okay. The next one is gene. What is gene actually? Gene is a functional unit, okay, which is composed of DNA. Okay, we can say that gene in a DNA means whatever the DNA is going to have its information, it is stored in the form of gene. Okay, so we will say that gene is a functional unit which is composed of DNA or which is made up of DNA. Okay, and we can simply say here is that, and this gene is responsible for means the information that is being present in DNA is stored in the form of gene. Okay, this is the functional unit, and each gene code for a polypeptide, for a protein, for a type of protein. There are different types of protein being secreted by the cell, and different proteins have different functions. So we'll say that the functions of the cell is controlled by DNA and by secreting different types of protein, and that protein code is done by gene. So what is gene actually? We will say that it is a functional unit. It is the function. It is the functional unit. Okay, it is a functional unit of heredity. Heredity means transmissions of character. So it is a functional unit that is being transferred. Okay, present in chromosomes and chromosome and composed of DNA. Okay, composed of DNA that codes for one polypeptide. We call it Protein, a type of protein. Okay. Got it? So it is a functional unit of heredity present in chromosomes. Okay, and composed of DNA that codes for polypeptide. We can say that what's the function of gene? The informations, that transferable information which is stored in DNA is in the form of gene. The in the form of gene. Got it? Do you know what is chromosome? Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Actually, when cell is going to perform it, when the cell is going to divide, okay, then the DNA condense itself. DNA, for example, this is the DNA, it is in the genetic material. So when it get condensed, it forms some chromosome-like structure like this. So it is a condensed form of DNA. Okay, it only DNA chromosomes are only appear during the time of cell division. So when cell is going to divide, so during the time of division, the DNA decompose itself. Like for example, if you are just shifting your room from one place to another place, so what you will do? What you will do? If you are having a rope on which you used to dry your clothes, so will you take the rope as in its length, original length? No, you will coil that rope. Okay, like this way. So you will coil that rope and will put it in a bag or some carton. Okay, so this is the same thing when DNA is going to divide. Sorry, cell is going to divide. So when the cell is not going to divide, that DNA will be scattered everywhere in the nucleus. But during the time of cell division, this DNA condense itself and form chromosomes. Okay, the condensed form of DNA is called chromosomes. Got it? So what is gene? Gene is a functional unit of heredity present in chromosome. It is present in chromosome and composed of DNA because chromosomes are composed of DNA. Okay, composed of DNA that codes for one polypeptide or protein. Shoaib, understood? Shoaib, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting?
Yes.
Okay, next is allele. What is allele? Allele. We can say that allele is, we can say that for every gene, there is actually one pair of chromosomes are there. We can say, or we can say that what is allele? For example, if I'm talking about that, a gene is controlling the height, a gene which is controlling the height, then in this gene, there are two characters or one pair of traits. One is tall, one is tallness, and another one is dwarfness. Okay, so if I'm talking about that height is controlled by gene, that in that gene there are two alleles. There are two alleles. One is controlling the allele one. Allele one will be controlling the tallness, and allele two will be controlling the dwarfness. Got it? Got it? Got it? Understood? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So if I talked about that, what is allele? So let you write here that allele is, we can say that one of the form of, note it down. Note it down. That allele, one of the different Now you done? You understood this one? That actually allele, we're going to discuss this one in the next class. Okay. That what is an allele and what is the difference between an allele, okay, and a trait or a gene. Okay. So we're going to discuss this one, that what is character, what is trait, what is allele. We're going to discuss this one in the next class. Okay. So that's all for today. For the 10th standard who are studying here, they can leave. We're going to discuss this one in the next class. Okay. So Zainab, how are you? Fabe, you can leave. Okay. So let's start. Zainab, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm also fine. And how your studies is going on? Shweta, are you there? Have you noted?
Yes, sir. I'm some internet issues, so I'm
Okay. So let's start studying. So what we are studying in the previous class?
So you are doing functional groups, and when you said that this class you will explain about the IUPAC name. You did saturated and unsaturated after telling that.
Okay. So let's start. We're going to study the saturated and unsaturated. Okay. So I'm going to study the